Well, we have a chance to visit with Cardinal center fielder Harrison Bader, who was trying to make the most of an awkward situation. First of all, Harrison, how are you, man? Because it's everything kind of came to a screeching halt over a month ago. So how are you getting along?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Clay. It's good to see your face. Good to hear your voice. It's kind of lonely down here, obviously, with the shutdown. Everybody went back to their respective states, and I stayed tight, and I stayed in Palm Beach. So my family's still in New York. They're all safe and sound, which is the most important thing. So I'm doing all right.
Yeah, that was my next question. I know your family's in New York and everybody's good on that front. Has it touched you yet personally? Anybody you know that's run across it and had to deal with it?
Thankfully, no. Um, being from New York, obviously it's a bit of a hotbed. Well, it is a hotbed. And, I've always been keeping up with my friends. Thankfully, nobody I know or nobody really close to them even has gotten it. So everybody's just really taking the social distancing very seriously, which we all should. So it's, those daily reports that everyone's safe and sound is good.
All right. So we can talk about the baseball here in just a bit. So tell me what you've been doing non-baseball related. Okay. You don't have your crew down there. You're in Florida. The weather's good. I'm sure you're at the gym. So tell me something about Harrison Bader that has nothing to do with baseball that you're into.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of video games. So that's number one. I try to limit that the best I could, but kind of a trap. So a lot of video games, and besides that, I'm doing a lot of workouts that are kind of different than just being in a gym. I'm running outside a lot, obviously away from everybody. We have a lot of water down here, so I'm running by some water and just kind of just taking in the scenery. There's not really much to do, but I'm definitely making the best of it.
So, in that situation, because you have to be creative here, there's no doubt about it as far as how you work out and what you do and things of that nature. What have you learned about yourself during this downtime? Because once you have all this quiet time to yourself, you have a tendency to maybe stray off and learn about different things. So what about you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've definitely during this process learned to love myself a little bit more, seeing that I've been spending so much time with myself. I've kind of been one of my old best friends down here since I've been away from my really good friends. But what comes with that is just a lot of writing a lot of stuff down, just kind of taking a different perspective on things. I think the biggest thing that I've learned about myself is I definitely have the ability to be a more positive person. I think we're over 30 days, and just the talking to people and reaching out to people. I have, unfortunately, because life just, everything, and especially in our world, Claves, everything just goes by so quickly and the days tend to blend together. And before you know it, 6 months, even 12 months go by and you haven't spoken to people you've built up such relationships with in the past. And unfortunately, it has taken a global pandemic to reach out to a number of people I haven't spoken to in a while. But I think it's just kind of, turned me to my roots a lot more. A lot of my people back home, just the small businesses that I've, learned to love and I grew up with, just reaching out to them, seeing if they needed any type of assistance, obviously doing these things behind the scenes and not really socially broadcasting them. Just understanding that there's just a lot you can do for a lot more people, and especially them. Very thankful for the platform that I'm allowed to, have some resources to help some people out. So, again, obviously my days revolve around do my best to get in some baseball work and work out to just keep my body moving and active. But besides that, it's been a lot of that.
I want to go back to something you said about reaching out, and I've kind of tried to do that as well. What's it like when you hang up the phone from somebody who never expected to hear from you or was surprised that you thought enough of them to reach out?
Yeah. I think you hear it in their voice from the moment they go, hello.
They look at the caller ID and say, wait a minute, what's this guy doing here calling me?
Yeah, exactly. And also their perspective is interesting too, because I'm in my own world. I'm constantly growing in my own world, but for them, their perspective is, maybe they see me playing on TV and baseball and they think I'm somebody different, or they think that my personality's changed or something about me's changed just because of baseball. And it's nice to show people and show some of my friends. And that's not the case at all, you know, and I'm still the same person, maybe refined in a couple different aspects of my life, but you know, the same kid that was stomping grounds in New York. I mean, it's the same mentality. It's the same kid. So hanging up the phone definitely feels good, knowing that I'm probably going to be on that person's mind for at least a couple of days.
Yeah, at least that's all that counts. Hey,
Exactly.
for
Just a
you,
little sprinkle.
spring training is behind you, but I know you work out religiously in the off season. So you went through nearly a whole spring training. Now you have this downtime. So what's your workout mode like? Are you trying to prepare for the season, or have you tried to step back a little bit and try and maintain that postseason, that off season workout program?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely have taken the approach of like somewhere in between. You know, I'm staying active every day. I'm moving every day, but I'm not in that off season everyday mode routine, because there's just no need for it. And also, you know, your body can get tired, man. You know,
Yeah.
subconsciously, you know, we've gone through cycles where my body's not really expecting to be lifting every day for this long, and that can be tiring in and of itself. So in some days where I do feel it a little bit, I'll just back off from lifting. I'll just go for a jog, just to get some sweat going. But you know, besides that, it really has revolved all around baseball activity. So you know, in the off season, you do a lot of lifts that are just centered around getting strong and whatever. You know, now every lift since it started has really been about geared towards like my swing, or you know, like moving around athletically in center field. They've all been really to just basically say, if I got a call tonight saying report to the field tomorrow at 6 a.m. to play baseball, would I be baseball ready? And that's all I've really done. So that'll be a lot of just like band work, you know, resistance, stuff like that, and just do my best to keep my arm in shape. You know, like I mentioned to you before, I had Paulie down here. We were throwing, we were pretty good, but he's not here right now. So now it's kind of up to me to just do my med ball work and just weight the ball routine, and just keep the muscles just ready to fire when they need to. Nothing crazy.
You finished spring training and you felt like, I know you felt like you had a pretty good spring, and I think you started to put some hits together and have some really good at bats, and sometimes an at bat doesn't always translate to a hit. Maybe it translates to a walk. What did you take away from the spring training you were part of that you want to continue to build on, so when it is time to go again, you'll be ready to go and even be better at it?
Yeah, no doubt. Just you know, I had a lot of competitive at bats. Some at bats that weren't competitive at all, which is part of the game, but there were a lot of competitive at bats in there, where you know I worked my way back to a 3-2 count, and I lost the 3-2 pitch. I ended up striking out. But you know, you can't focus on that because it was early. It was spring training. It was inside 40 at bats. You know, I just wanted to just go into spring training, be a hard at bat. You know, be a consistently solid at bat. You know, I've realized, obviously, we've all realized that there are a number of ways that I can do damage in the base pass. I don't necessarily have to hit a line drive every time. I just got to get on base and find a way to, you know, just be a tough out. So with that said, I think I did a good job of that. And again, man, in this time, the most important thing is just about staying super positive, staying over positive, really. And you know, it's easy to let these days kind of go away. So you know, again, just staying positive, just moving around and trusting that when we do pick up, which hopefully will be soon, you know, it's all just going to click right back the way it needs to, and you just got to trust it.
All right, I want to run this by you. You've had this downtime, and you try and structure your day. So, have you learned anything new? We know you're in the video games. Did you learn how to cook? Learn a foreign language? What have you been doing in order to enrich yourself?
Yeah, so I have been doing a lot of cooking on my own.
What's your favorite dish? What's the baiter go-to here?
If it's going to be something quick, it'll be any type of chicken. You know, you could do chicken inside of 8 minutes. So anything around there, any type of pasta with the chicken. You know, any type of quinoa. You know, vegetables are super easy to steam. You know, so I just have like a base of you know, some seasonings I'll toss on, and some healthy, you know, maybe like sauces here and there, but it really all revolves around just, you know, your quinoa, your greens, your rices, and then, you know, your proteins. So, you know, if I really want to get fancy, maybe one night and treat myself on a Friday night during quarantine. I'll do like I'll do a beef churrasco. I like
Okay.
that. Like a Spanish beef churrasco, a Cuban style steak, something just on those
Okay.
lines. So,
All right.
but yeah, no, I mean, it's been fun. I took French for a number of years throughout my learning years when I was younger, and I've had some good days with it, and had some days where I kind of forgot I even decided to pick up French again. So it's a constant battle to just find some time to occupy myself. But it hasn't been bad at all.
It's funny because we all try and find something to do. So was there any project you finally got to? And you're a young guy. See, you're old like me. There's a closet that's waiting for you. There's something in the garage or a storage locker or something like that. What about you? Was there anything you said, I've always wanted to get to do this? Now I've got the time. Have you started on any of those projects?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a bit of a dream, if you will, on a classic car that I want to lock down. It's a whole process. I'm not a mechanic. I don't have the ability to really understand how a car's engine works and this and that, but I do have the resources to find and source a vehicle. I know the style I'm looking for, so I've started on that, so that's cool. And additionally, man, I mean, hey, let me go inside real quick. It's gonna be loud. Sorry. And another thing too, I'm actually starting a second Instagram account, which is going to be showcasing just all of the pieces or articles of clothing, I guess,
Ah,
my closet, because I don't walk into. I'm not the traditional fashion buyer, I guess, where I kind of just go into Fifth Avenue and I buy everything out of Louis Vuitton and Gucci. I like to again source the pieces I'm specifically looking for. I buy a lot of vintage, really pieces that have aged to a point where they really are the only one of their kind. So I got a lot of cool stuff that I'm going to start. Or I have actually started the process, and it's the account's going to be Bader's Closet, very original. But yeah, I'm gonna have that Instagram account up and running. I have some fun with it, and we'll kind of we'll see what it turns into. But on the projects front, man, that's really all I got.
that's good enough. I mean, that's a good
That's
start.
not
There's a
too
great
bad.
place.
Yeah.
There's a great place in St. Louis I got to turn you on to called Bespoke Apparel, and they kind of do a lot of that stuff you're talking about. So when this is over with, I'm gonna make sure you get hooked up because I'm kind of like that clothes guy too, and I don't know how many more times I can reorganize my closet according to colors and what tie
I
works
hear
with
you.
this shirt and all that sort of stuff. But it's something we got to do. But you obviously have a routine where you don't sleep till 10 every day. You find something to do with yourself, and I guess that's a good thing. All right, so you've heard so many different rumors about where we're going to play, when we're going to play, how we're going to play. Has any one of those things you've heard kind of piqued your interest aside from just getting back out on the field?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best right there. Just the whole thing really is just about getting back on the field. When anything kind of comes out, obviously you get excited about the whole Arizona thing, but then maybe taking a breath and kind of taking a step back and thinking that how that was going to kind of affect every player, not only on the baseball side but off the field. Teams were supposed to put players up in hotels, and it's just a cramped lifestyle for a lot of guys. I personally don't have children or a wife, so I can't imagine playing a season or parts of a season where I don't get to see my kids and my wife. So it just, there are a lot of factors involved. Obviously we want to get baseball started as soon as possible, but the most important thing here is obviously health. We don't want to reopen the country, reopen the economy, and then see the number of cases and deaths spike again. That's just gonna cause a lot of panic, and it's just gonna be really bad for a number of reasons. So we want to make sure that everyone's safe. But with regards to how I feel about not playing in front of or playing but not in front of fans and this and that, I personally, obviously we want fans to be in the stands. There's nothing like hearing the cheers from your fans, especially in St. Louis. But you're always playing the opponent, and if there are no fans, then so be it. We're still going to play competitive baseball. We'll definitely put on a show for them on TV. But again, it definitely is a balance between wanting to get it out there as soon as possible, and obviously the extreme of that. So I know for a fact that there are a lot of people behind the scenes. You know, Miller is our representative. Andrew Miller is our representative, who's been doing an incredible job. And not only, you know, having our backs as players, because we're not necessarily at the table with him, but he's been informing us tremendously. So I'm very appreciative of him. And obviously other teams have, you know, representatives as well. And they're all working and doing their thing to try and get us out there as soon as possible. So, you know, I trust them fully, and I'm just, again, doing my part and just staying positive and staying ready to go when we get that call.
Well, positive you are, ready you always are, and we can't wait to see you back on the field when the time is right for everybody. And as you mentioned, being safe is more important than anything else right now. And speaking of that, I want you to be safe. Give your best to my family as well, and I thank you for your time today. And I can't wait to see you, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate that, Clay. It's always good to see you, brother. I'll talk to
All
you soon,
right.
and I appreciate it.
He's Harrison Bader. I'm Mike Claiborne. Thanks for watching.